Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring something that sounds simple, but turns out to be incredibly powerful. It's how mindfulness can genuinely upgrade the way we work.
Exactly. We're looking at this fascinating intersection, really, between ancient wisdom and modern psychology. And the goal is to pull out strategies you can actually use. We've looked at research from neuroscience, business, cognitive psych.
Right. To see how being more present, more mindful can boost productivity, sharpen decisions, and just improve well-being overall.
That's the core idea.
It's funny how these ancient ideas are suddenly all over the corporate world, isn't it? Maybe we should start right there. What is mindfulness? In a way that actually makes sense for someone juggling a crazy schedule.
Good place to start. So, at its heart, mindfulness is just this basic human capacity to be fully present. It means, paying attention to what's happening right now, your thoughts, what you're sensing, feeling, but without getting swept away or judging it all.
Okay.
The classic definition from Jon Kabat-Zinn is paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally.
On purpose? That feels key. It's not just drifting off.
It's an active mode of attention, yeah. Not just relaxation, though that can be a side effect.
And you mentioned the roots, Buddhism, Hinduism, even Greek philosophy. But now we see Google, Intel, Salesforce, big names, investing in this. Why?
They are, definitely. Because the modern workplace is just, it's a fire hose of input, constant distraction. Fragmented attention is the norm.
Tell me about it.
Right. So these companies see the value, the economic value, in having people who are more focused, more engaged, healthier. Mindfulness is kind of the antidote to that digital office chaos.
Okay, let's talk about that chaos then. The need for the antidote. What our sources call the high cost of mindlessness, operating on autopilot.
Yes, this is crucial. The big challenge is just how often our minds wander off. There was that Harvard study, it made waves a few years back, found that people spend, on average, get this, 47% of their waking hours lost in thought.
47%. Wow. Almost half the day.
Nearly half the day. Just mentally checked out, daydreaming, worrying, planning. Anywhere but here and now.
And that's not just lost time. It impacts how we feel.
Absolutely. The data clearly shows this mind wandering has a negative hit on our overall well-being. Being on autopilot means missing things, making sort of lazy decisions, reacting instead of responding thoughtfully.
And that mindless state feels like it's almost encouraged sometimes, especially with multitasking. We all think we're masters of juggling tasks.
Oh yeah, the multitasking myth. It's so pervasive.
Why do we cling to it? It feels efficient.
It feels efficient. That's the trap. It's psychological. What we call multitasking is really our brain just switching back and forth very, very quickly.
That context switching.
Exactly. And there's a cognitive cost every time you switch. They call it the switch tax.
Uh-huh.
Zheng Wang's research at Ohio State showed people do it because it feels more productive, more engaging.
Even when it's not.
Even when, objectively, they're getting less done and making more mistakes. It's kind of addictive, that feeling of busyness.
An addiction to inefficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, so if mind wandering and fake multitasking are the problem, the solution is conscious presence. Single tasking.
That's the core of it. Breaking that habit. It starts with making a clear decision, an intention, usually at the start of a work block, to just be present with one thing.
Easier said than done sometimes.
It is. So one practical strategy the sources suggest is trying a time journal. Just for a day or two, note down when you're really single tasking versus when you're slipping into multitasking or mind wandering. And be honest about what you actually achieve in those different modes.
Like holding up a mirror to it.
Precisely. The results can be quite humbling, but also really motivating to change the habit.
Okay, I like that practical step. But here's the pushback, I imagine. I'm under pressure. I don't have time to slow down and be mindful. People hear mindfulness and think, 30-minute meditation sessions.
Right, that's a huge misconception. And it stops people from even trying.
So can short breaks actually work? Like really short?
Absolutely. That's key. You don't need half an hour. A mindful exercise can literally be 60 seconds. Just intentionally connect with one sense. Like, what do your feet feel like on the floor right now? Or listen intently to the sounds outside for a minute.
Just 1 minute.
1 minute. It can instantly help rebalance your nervous system. Dial down that fight or flight response that gets triggered so easily. It actually helps engage the prefrontal cortex, the wise part of your brain, for more reasoned decisions instead of just reacting out of panic.
Okay, that feels more doable, but it still leads to this idea that seems backwards in a fast-paced world.
Right.
Slowing down to speed up.
It sounds counterintuitive, I know.
Yeah.
Flies in the face of deadlines and constant pressure.
Right.
But think about sleep. You need, say, 7 hours to function well the next day. Skimping on sleep actually makes you less efficient.
True.
Stopping or slowing down mindfully is similar. It's not wasting time, it's an investment. It leads to better focus, fewer mistakes, more resilience in the long run. That constant panicky rush, that's where bad energy-sapping decisions come from.
So we need like an emergency brake. A pause button we can hit instantly before sending that angry email maybe, or when a meeting starts going sideways.
Exactly, and there's a great little tool for that, the SWOP acronym. Super simple. Takes seconds.
Okay, what is it?
S, stop. Just stop whatever you're doing. T, take a breath, a conscious breath. O, observe. Notice your thoughts, feelings, body sensations. No judgment, just notice. And P, proceed. Move forward, but now with a bit more awareness.
Stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. Okay, I can see using that.
It's incredibly versatile.
Now, what about something slightly more structured? Say you have maybe 3 minutes between meetings to reset. You mentioned something called the 3SBS.
Yes, the 3-step breathing space.
Mhm.
It's like a mini meditation, really powerful for its brevity.
3 steps, what are they?
Okay, step 1 is becoming aware. You deliberately step off the autopilot. Just notice what's here right now. Thoughts, feelings, maybe tightness in your chest, impatience, worry, bodily sensations. Just acknowledge them with a bit of acceptance, maybe even curiosity. Not trying to fix anything.
Just noticing, okay. Then step 2.
Step 2 is gathering. You gently narrow your focus onto the breath. Really feel the physical sensations of breathing the rise and fall of your chest or your abdomen. Use it as an anchor to bring you fully into the present moment. It helps bring mind and body back together, especially when stressed.
Anchoring with the breath.
Right.
And the last step gets you ready to move on.
Exactly. Step 3 is proceeding. You intentionally widen your awareness again back to your body, the room, maybe the task ahead. But you move forward with this renewed sense of presence, this wider perspective you just cultivated.
Okay. Aware, gather, proceed, 3SBS.
You're grounded. Your next action comes from intention, not just automatic reaction.
And that shift from reaction to intentional action, that seems like the bridge, doesn't it? Connecting these simple practices to something bigger, like professional wisdom. Is there research backing that link?
Oh, absolutely. The research is quite solid here. They measure something called dispositional mindfulness, basically.
Right.
How mindful someone tends to be in daily life, often using a scale called the May-S. And people who score higher on mindfulness consistently show better outcomes. Higher self-esteem, more vitality, feeling more autonomous and competent. And crucially, less neuroticism, fewer reported physical symptoms of stress.
So just being more aware of your own internal state makes you healthier and more effective.
It strongly suggests better self-knowledge, yeah. Which is really the foundation of wisdom. In Buddhism, wisdom is often defined as seeing things as they are,
Yeah.
really understanding reality accurately,
Seeing clearly.
which is exactly what you need to navigate complex work situations, resolve conflicts effectively, build strong teams.
And in sort of a Western framework, wisdom combines the intellectual side knowledge, logic, with the moral or social emotional side.
Exactly. Practical wisdom integrates both. Mindfulness training helps shift decision-making. It moves it away from being a hot, impulsive, emotional reaction towards being a cool, thoughtful, cognitive process. The benefits they see include being better able to recognize the limits of your own knowledge, intellectual humility.
That's important.
Very. Also, doing a more thorough ethical check on potential outcomes and spotting trade-offs or unintended consequences before you jump in.
Okay, this is building a strong case. But then there's this finding that sounds almost unbelievable. about how awareness can change the physical impact of stress itself. That University of Wisconsin-Madison study.
Ah, yes. That one is truly remarkable. It's one of my favorites. They looked at people under high stress, and they found that the highly stressed people who had been guided to believe that their stress response was actually helpful, that it was their body energizing them for a challenge.
Yeah.
Those people had the lowest mortality rates in the entire study group, lower even than people with low stress.
Wait, seriously? Just believing stress was helpful changed their physical outcome that dramatically?
It's astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It highlights the power of interpretation, of reframing. Mindfulness gives you that pause, that space to choose your interpretation.
So next time my heart's pounding before a presentation.
Instead of thinking, oh no, I'm panicking, you can observe the physical sensations, faster heart rate, quicker breathing, and reframe it. Okay, my body's getting ready. More oxygen, more energy for my brain. This is helping me rise to the challenge. That mental shift doesn't just feel better, it improves performance and, according to this research, could literally add years to your life.
That's profound. Okay, so we've covered focus, decision-making, even stress resilience. The sources wrap up by connecting mindfulness to two perhaps unexpected qualities: gratitude and humility. Why are these soft skills so vital professionally?
Well, they're powerful antidotes to some of our brain's unhelpful default settings. Gratitude, for instance, directly counters the negativity bias.
Which is our tendency to focus on what's wrong.
Exactly. We dwell on the problems, the complaints. Actively practicing gratitude, consciously noting things you appreciate, even small things about your job or colleagues, actually improves creativity, health, resilience. It makes the tough parts more bearable.
And humility. People sometimes think that means being meek or passive.
Right, but that's a misunderstanding. The sources link it back to the Latin root, humilus, meaning grounded. Think of those level 5 leaders Jim Collins wrote about in Good to Great.
Ah, yes. Quiet confidence, strong will.
Exactly. They have personal humility. They don't need the spotlight. They give credit to others. They take responsibility. Mindfulness helps cultivate this by quieting down that constant chattering ego, that narrative self. It lets you genuinely see and appreciate others' contributions. True self-acceptance fosters that kind of professional grace.
It really ties it all together. We've gone from understanding why we zone out for almost half the day
At 47%.
to using simple tools like S2P and the 3SBS, to building focus, making wiser decisions, managing stress physically, and even fostering gratitude and humility.
It's a journey from basic attention training to cultivating real professional wisdom. And the benefits are clear. Less anxiety, fewer physical symptoms, greater resilience. It's why even higher education is starting to look at mindfulness not just as an add-on, but as fundamental to the formation of attention itself.
Which leads perfectly into our final thought for you, the listener. When we talk about intentionally forming our attention,
We have to acknowledge the world we live in, the attention economy. So much of the digital world is engineered specifically to grab your focus and hold it, often for someone else's profit.
right?
Mindfulness gives you the tools, maybe even the philosophical grounding, to question that, to become more aware of how your attention is being courted or even captured. It empowers you to choose where you place that incredibly valuable resource rather than just passively letting it be directed or, economized.
So the question becomes, what will you choose to intentionally give your attention, your focus to today? Something powerful to consider.
Indeed.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.